besties, we have my dog here with me today on, oh, that's so, she loves me. I didn't know for sure, but that's nice. Okay, we are reading spring books today. I have 3 books with us today. I'm gonna be honest, it has been more than 3 months since I've read anything that isn't Percy Jackson, and I'm not completely sure what to do with myself, and I'm not completely sure what to expect, but I am and have been currently reading Haley Pham's book, Just Friends, and I am 100 pages into it, and it took me a little bit to get used to the writing style, but I have actually been really loving it. And I think Blair and Declan's story, which is who we are following in the book, it's a second chance romance. It's basically following them when they are in high school and they get together, and in the present timeline, Blair has come back to her hometown of Seabrook because her aunt has gotten sick. So immediately a very heavy book with a grief plot line, and I kind of wasn't expecting that from this book. I mean, going into it, I didn't read the back. Haley's name was all I needed to pick up this book, and I just have to say, minus the couple of bent marks caused by this one because I keep sitting it down on my bed and she runs in and she keeps squishing it, the most beautiful cover. I'm literally obsessed. It literally looks like Haley and Ryan, which I mean is so cute, and because I got one of the first printed copies, we have the inside, which is adorable. And my favorite thing, which she spoke about when she was making her book like writing vlog, is the chapter headings. Again, the pages are bent because of her. The chapter headings, we have the different ones for the present timeline and the past timeline, and I think it's so nice because I don't even need to look at this title on the very beginning of the page to know that this is the past timeline. I just immediately know because of the chapter heading. So what we're doing in this video is finding out which one of these 3 books is going to be the best spring book to get you in the springtime mood. Oh, okay, we're going. What are you doing? Come here. Thank you. Okay. Good girl. But for my prediction of which book out of these 3 are going to be the most springy book, I have a very strong feeling that Haley Pham's book, Just Friends, is going to have a very strong spring vibe, like, and also a very strong summery vibe, just because her strength, her writing strength, is definitely scenery, and I just feel like I'm there every single time I pick up this book. So I think the only thing left to do is continue the video and keep on reading Just Friends. What do we think? Do we like it? Oh no, that was gross, and you're all slobbery. I really want to read Heroes of Olympus. What do we think if we just, I really, okay, okay. What are we doing? Okay, there we go, bam. Whoops. Guys, we're back where we started. Oh, hi. Oh my gosh. Okay, we had a little mishap where she thought she could go and sit on my spinny chair over there, and she didn't fall, but she kind of, like, not slipped, but the chair kind of moved and it's freaked her out, so now she's very clingy right now. She needs some comfort, so apparently I'm being pushed out of frame. We are exactly halfway through the book, and I can see where the relationship in the past timeline is crumbling, and I've kind of been noticing the stuff from the very beginning. So now that we're exactly halfway through the book, in the past timeline, I am able to see the relationship like crumbling, and then in the present timeline, Blair is also kind of crumbling too, just because of Lottie's death and Lottie's passing. So then it's interesting having like both sides being kind of hectic. It makes the most sense why it's the most chaotic right now. And there are moments where I'm like, Declan, you know what? I can respect you. I don't know his side as well as I know Blair's, because it's from Blair's point of view, so we don't really get anything inside of his head. And there was one moment in the coffee shop, there was like multiple moments in the coffee shop. My favorite moment so far has been when they were on the beach, like Blair falls asleep on the beach and he wakes her up. I don't know what it is about that, so much fun. And then the moment where they get together in the past scene is very much like So High School. I have to say, I'm really enjoying Just Friends. It is so weird not reading Percy Jackson. I'm so used to that now, and it's so weird having other characters because I've gotten so used to having the same roster of characters showing up, and I so badly want to read Heroes of Olympus, but I'm also craving that kind of like rom-com vibes, which is what we're doing right now. But I feel like no matter what I pick, I'm gonna wish I was doing the other. So if I was reading Percy Jackson, I'd also be a little bit like, oh, but like I have all these good rom-coms that are like waiting on my TBR. But now that I'm reading the rom-coms, I'm like, but Heroes of Olympus and then The Trials of Apollo, like I want to read those so badly. Like I've already read them, so it's kind of different because these are brand new. So it's always a little bit scary going into a book with high expectations and the possibility of them not being met, but knowing that the other books are waiting there for me at least makes me feel a little bit safer, because I'm like, okay, if any one of these books goes awry and I feel like I am going into a book slump again, we just pick up Heroes of Olympus. Hi! We have with me Just Friends. I finished this yesterday, no, 2 days ago. I finished this 2 days ago, and I've been thinking on the rating. I'm going to give Just Friends a 3.75. I really, really liked this book. I think the setting is beautiful. The characters are wonderful. In Haley's book, her writing is very, very lyrical, and it took me a while to get used to. And I think from a perspective of a writer, I probably would have pulled back on a couple of those sentences and just gotten straight to the point, because for me, the more like we danced around the stuff, it hit less. Like there were so many lines that hit so well for me. I'm like, yes, I want to highlight that. I have just come off of Percy Jackson. His writing is very like straight to the point. Haley's is very much the opposite, and I can tell she took a lot of inspiration from Vari McFarlane and Emily Henry and stuff like that. But I'm very impressed for this being her first book. It's very good, and I had a very good time, and I would definitely recommend this to other people. So if you're wanting a cutesy romance, thank you, Haley. No spice. You know I love my no spice romances, so this was definitely a hit. 3.75. And for the spring vibes, I'm going to give it a 3.75 out of 5 flowers as well, because this is set in summer. I did not know that. I probably should have, but I didn't. Now on to our next book, which is The Royal Spin, and I'm very proud of myself. I'm like 50 pages into this book, and I can't tell you the exact premise of the book because I haven't read the inside since I bought it, but I do know that our main character is Lauren. She has just moved to the UK. She had a crappy boyfriend who cheated on her with her best friend. She's got some drama going on in her life, clearly, and she's wanting to get a fresh start. So she quits her job, or I can't remember if she quits or if she gets fired. I think she quits her job, or she's encouraged to leave and she quits. Let's say she quits her job to give her some girl power. So she leaves her job, she gets a job interview at the Buckingham Palace, and she goes in, has the interview for 5 minutes, and she gets the job because she's an icon. But this book already has been a blast. I have not met the love interest. I'm only on the 2nd chapter anyway, so I did not expect us to meet him. Multiple hims apparently, because I think there's 2 or 3, because I really hope Brian does not come back. I'll be so mad. Please don't do this. I don't want a second chance when he's cheated. That's not a that's a no-no for me. That's a no-no. Unless you are BJ, get out of here. And I mean like Magnolia Parks. My favorite. Beach. Okay, I feel like that's enough yapping. I feel very productive because we finished a book. I am already 50 pages into one that is only 300 pages. Short and sweet. I've made myself a matcha. I am ready to read and see if this one takes top spot for the most spring book. I am very, very disappointed. So for 2 things. 1, I'm very proud of myself because I finally made it halfway. We are 150 pages into this book, but there was like, I think it was maybe page 50-ish, page 70, and I'm going, where the heck is the love interest? Like, what's going on here? I don't understand. And then the character starts making these references, and the first one was call her daddy at the very beginning of the book. It's probably like within the 3rd page. And throughout it, there's like multiple references to different pop culture things, which is okay. But it feels like randomly placed, like it doesn't feel authentic, like it feels like the author was like thinking of things to make somebody connect with this character, because I like Lauren. She's going through some stuff, and I think she has an interesting story, but it's just not hitting for me, and I'm not DNFing it because I'm not a DNFer, and it would have to be like really putting me in a book slump, and the only reason it's not is because I'm trying to test my speed reading abilities right now, where I'm hitting a point where I'm like, okay, if I linger on a page, I am going to throw this book across the room. So I'm going like this and taking in all the information, but it's not something that I want to stay in for very long. Like, I'm looking forward to not reading this book anymore because I want to put it away. So I'm hoping today, maybe tomorrow, I can finish it, because it's not like, I feel like they did a bad job at marketing this book. I understand now why this was in the fiction section, but if you're gonna market it as like this whole complicated love thing where she's got like multiple love interests, but we're in like page 100 and I have no idea who she's even interested in, I feel like that's just faulty marketing. Like, if I had gone in expecting that this is mainly going to be about her job and about what she does, I probably wouldn't have picked it up. So I guess good job, guys, you got the sale, but I'm really disappointed in this. And I was looking at Goodreads and a lot of people are saying the exact same thing. So when I said I was looking forward to this, I even went, Mom, I think this is gonna be really good. I think this is gonna be a book you have to like audiobook. I said, never mind, don't waste your time, because this feels like a waste of time. And luckily it's only 300 pages, because if it was anything more, goodbye. Okay, it's really cold outside. It's not in the negatives today, but it was sunny for a brief period. It is not sunny anymore, hence the sunglasses on my head and not on my face. I'm still disappointed with this book. Last night I sat down and I read about 70-ish pages. Now the hair's going in my face. I read about 70-ish pages of, The Royal Spin. I couldn't even remember the name, which is a bad sign. It wasn't marketed right. Like, it could have been executed a little bit better. Like, if I went in with the expectation of this book being what it is and really just following like her journey in the business and like, I don't know, like her new life in London, I would have expected something different. But like, when I picked this up expecting like a whimsy kind of like fun book that might be good for like summer or spring, like this just felt really disappointing. So today my goal is to really finish the book. Now I'm like shivering, it's so cold. I really just want to be done with this, but I think we know already this book is not getting the top spot. It will be getting 3rd place, which, if there were more books, it probably wouldn't even be on the podium, and it's really disappointing.
Suddenly, the world I used to know, I see it differently. You woke me from a dream, now here's reality.
Come take a seat with me. I have some updates. They're a little bit complicated. I need a sip of Diet Coke before I start explaining myself. So first off, I have started No Matter What, and I know you guys are going, Kira, you didn't give us the review for The Royal Spin. So, about that, here's the funny thing. I gave up. I'm not DNFing it. I spent, I think, most of my night about 2 nights ago trying to finish this book. I had 50 pages left. I'm like, well, it's time to go to bed. What do I want to read? Well, you've got 50 pages left of this. Don't you want to read that? I'm like, kind of tired. I'm really not loving this book. I don't think I want to read this. So then I was gonna pick up, wow, I just realized how Yeah, Red on Red. Then I'm thinking, well, maybe I should just watch Pirates of the Caribbean instead of reading at all. Then I'm like, no, I gotta read a book. But instead of picking up The Royal Spin and just finishing it, because there's only 50 pages and that couldn't take me that long, I picked up No Matter What, and now 2 days later, I can't get myself to pick up this book again. This is the first time I have touched it. In the last 48 hours, I'm 110 oh my god. This is, I'm sorry, the dates are going cray cray. It has not actually been a full 48 hours. It has just been 24-ish and something hours. I started this yesterday morning, or technically I started it the night before. I don't know, my timeline is off, whatever it was. I have read 110 pages of this book and what it took me to get through 20 pages of this book. So that's saying something. I don't want to introduce No Matter What, because if I introduce it to you guys, then I feel like I will never ever again pick up The Royal Spin. So I think what I need to do is, one, I just need to update you guys and tell you that this book is so good. And this is gonna make me sound like I'm just like hating on this book, and I'm not. But from my perspective and from my enjoyment, the first chapter of this book has been more enjoyable for me than the entirety of The Royal Spin. We are following Roz and Vin. Their story is so cute, and I had like this weird kind of like, oh, I don't know what's gonna happen, like they're married, this is kind of, it's gonna be like a different vibe. Kara brings it every single time, and I absolutely love Roz. Like, I think we would be best friends in real life. Like, honestly, I really think we would. The goal is finish The Royal Spin, because look how much you've got left, Kira. It's not really that intimidating, especially with the speed I was reading it before. I think I just like, I lost interest, and that kind of like, wait, if this vibe continues, then maybe I'll like it, did not last more than those 3 pages that it happened in. And then this book has been so easy, like so easy to just start and continue. It's not even that it's like the nicest, floppiest book ever that I don't even have to hold any of the pages open and they just stay there. And like, look at this. Each page, no matter how far I am in the book, that is supreme quality. So I love this book, and I already know it's gonna be 5 stars. I don't think anything could happen in this book and change my mind. I do have to finish this and find the cover, because the dust cover is off. No idea where it went. So we gotta find that and finish this, because I just know it's gonna be 2 stars. Might be nice and put 2.5, but it's not a recommendation for me, unfortunately.
Don't wanna be a one-man woman. Got me stranded like a boat in the sand. Just the thought of not spreading my wings dry.
I have finished The Royal Spin. I have nothing new to say. I'm gonna give it a 2.5 to be nice. For the spring rating, I will give it a 2 as well. It just didn't hit for me. I think it was marketed bad. I was expecting something that this book completely wasn't. The ending was okay. Wasn't my favorite. They tied up everything, which was good. But yeah, it was just a flop for me. So we have the next book to move on to. And I only have 15 more pages left. So I will introduce this book to you guys later. I gotta run. I will see you guys tomorrow. I just have to say, I'm very, very proud of myself. I restrained myself. I did not read the last 15 pages of No Matter What. We will read this later. I'm actually doing this really, really fast because we're going to a museum. So, I have here with me our next book, which you're like, Kira, No Matter What was supposed to be our last book, but I feel like I gypped you guys because I only recorded like a very small portion of what No Matter What was. So to make up for my mistake of completely gypping you guys on this book, which probably will end up being the best book of the video, I have Abby Jimenez's new book, and it is The Night We Met. I have only read the first 2 pages of this. I haven't read the back. She is an instant buy author for me, so when her book came out, I knew I was getting it. So since I know nothing about this book, it says on the back, in everyone's life, there's a split-second decision that can change everything. For Larissa, it came when choosing who to ride home with after a concert. That night, she had no idea she met the perfect man. She and Chris are great friends, co-parenting a slightly unhinged rescue Yorkie, sharing their favorite books and judging bread, pumpernickel for the win. For the first time after all her side hustles to scrape by, things finally feel easy. But she didn't choose Chris to drive her home all of those months ago. go. She went home with his best friend, and he became her boyfriend. All Chris wants is for Larissa to be happy. Standing by the sidelines is slowly killing him, but making a move would destroy someone else. How can someone that feels so right be absolutely impossible? I'm very scared this book is not going to meet my expectations. I think it's going to be a very, very high rating, maybe a 4. Maybe even a 5. I have no idea if this is going to be a spring book or a summer book. From the cover, I just saw color and I thought spring, and I'm like, you know what? I think this will be perfect for this video. So today's goal is to finish No Matter What, which I literally don't want this book to end, and then to start and get through maybe even 100 pages of The Night We Met by Abby Jimenez. I'm very excited. I'm very scared. Let's hope I don't get into a book slump, because No Matter What was that good.
Don't call me miss, just throw me a kiss. Don't use my name.
I had to take the chance to get out here again. So I have read, I think I put a bookmark in. I've read not 40 pages. I did not put a bookmark in. It's so windy outside. So I read about 20-ish pages. I had to come out here and tell you guys though. Larissa has a peanut and tree nut allergy, and to anyone else this would not be a big deal. To me it is, because I have a peanut and tree nut allergy, so it is a big deal to me, and there's not a lot of characters that have allergies mentioned, and definitely I haven't read a character with a peanut and tree nut allergy before. So already I'm liking the book, and I think their immediate connection is really fun because he's very much trying to take care of her, and Larissa's very much like not wanting him to take care of her at all. She is very unneedy. She's basically like wanting to do everything herself, and then Chris has a reason to come back into the hospital because he drives her to the hospital, and he's about to leave. She basically tells him to leave, and then he has a reason because there's a bag that she left in the car. So Larissa's mom leaves her bag, and he decides to go and park and give it back, like go in. But then once he gives the bag to her, he's like, I'm not gonna leave. The little details are what gets me, and obviously I haven't learned enough about the characters to give you like a kind of vibe check, if that makes sense, where I can't tell you like, yeah, these are my favorite characters ever. I can't tell you right now if this is going to be a 5-star book, if it's a 3-star book. I always like to give at least 25% of the way before I give like a good opinion on the book. We've learned this from the Royal Spin. I jumped the gun and I was so excited, and I had such high expectations, and then I reached the 25% mark. It flatlined and it just didn't hit for me. I'm hoping, because I am getting good vibes right now, especially with the way the pacing is going. Like, I got through 20 pages in about maybe like 7, maybe 10 minutes, something like that, give or take, because I was chatting with my mom as we were driving in the car. So like, that's like me getting like stopped and then getting through it. The wind is gonna pick up again. I'm really enjoying myself though. I hope to get to, like I said, page 100 tonight. There are 384 pages. I think this is gonna be a good one. Will it be the winner? I already know No Matter What is gonna be the top spot, because like everybody needs to read that book. But can this one compete against it?
Dressing up, fixing my strut. Always prepared, you never know who shows up around the corner. Maybe it's that director. Oh, I can sing, I can dance, I can learn the smooth moves. I would do anything.
I have 55-ish pages left. When I say I have devoured this book, that would be an understatement. I'm not kidding. Like, I have been up way too many nights reading this book because it's that good. There are times when I do not want to watch TV because I would rather be reading the book. The Night We Met was made for the yearners, and this scenario is so... Now, I don't want to say interesting, but it's like kind of like a scenario that I've been wanting to read for a little while, and then I'm like, nah, because it's gonna be messy. But the way Abby writes it, perfection. I love Larissa, and I think she is such a great character, and I love that Abby has included that she has like a peanut and tree nut allergy, because one, that makes me like her more because I have a peanut and tree nut allergy, and the addition to the book is like, it makes me happy because not a lot of characters have allergies. The only thing that I had an issue with was that she didn't go to the hospital after she had an allergic reaction. And I know it's because she didn't want to have to wait and she didn't want to have to pay because it would cost money to go in. But I would have made her go in, like I would have had Chris just make her go into the hospital and say that he would pay for it, because as someone who has an anaphylactic reaction, the EpiPen is not like a you stab it and you're good, especially because of the reason she had the allergic reaction in the first place. If it's that serious, you would have gone into the hospital just to be safe, because you know what, I'm gonna stop talking about this because I feel like I'm gonna go on a rant and you guys are gonna get annoyed and I'm gonna get annoyed at myself. I'm just gonna say that I have a couple issues with it and move on instead. But other than that, I have no issues with this book and I literally love it. Like the fact that it's the little details and the like slow build of their relationship, and I love when a relationship and they don't get together until like the last 30-ish pages. Like they are just getting together. Hi guys, if you can't tell by my nails, this is Kira from the future. Somehow I forgot to review The Night We Met by Abby Jimenez. So to do with the spring rating, this was hard for me because I really wanted this book to get a high ranking, but unfortunately I think it's gonna have like a 1.5 spring rating because it was not set in spring. Most of the book actually ends up taking place during winter, and they're at a cottage 2 different times. The first time is during the summer, the second time is during the winter. So it's like Christmassy time because he's getting her a Christmas gift, and then the rest of the book is also still set in winter because I think it's past New Year, so they celebrate New Year's, and then it's January time when it ends, and then they end it around Halloween, I think. Unfortunately, the spring rating is only a 1.5 for this book. But c'est la vie, we all can't be winners, and it's okay. It was such a good book. I'm going to miss this story. I already miss this story, and Abby Jimenez is just, she's a queen, she's an icon, and I'm so jealous that she comes up with so many good books in so short periods of time and every single year. Oh, and I found out she's coming out with a Christmas book, and I will be buying that as soon as it comes out. But Larissa, Chris, I loved you, and you will have a special place in my heart. I absolutely adored this book, and it's so nice to come out of Percy Jackson and have books around me that I am loving. Moving on to the next book, and I know you guys are like, Kira, you said you were starting out with 3 books. We went on to 4 books. Now you're saying there's another book. So the next book, I mean, she's right here with me. This may be one of my favorite books that I have read this year. Past Kira will introduce you to this book. I could have never anticipated how good this book was going to be. I'm like giddy just talking about it. So I'm going to be recommending this book to every person that I know. It literally, special place in my heart. If the cover isn't enough to convince you to read this book, the insides are even better. Like, I'm sorry, I can't even say enough good things about this book, so I'm gonna let Past Kira introduce you to it. This was my favorite of the video. Oh, sorry, what? I didn't say anything, but Annie and Connor, they're my new Jim and Pam. Okay, so this is the most random and like spur of the moment thing. I'm currently on chapter 7. I am technically on page 41. I had a bit of a, what would you call it, self-tanner disaster, so we're dealing with it today. Hopefully it's better within the next couple of days. Definitely should wash my hands. I forgot. And now I am, what is it, reaping my reward, paying the consequences, something like that. The back of the book says, Annie thinks she knows what's best for everyone, but when her life goes sideways, the inner workings of her own heart become a total mystery. Can she stumble her way to happily ever after? This is like a tech world romance, like enemies to lovers romance, and I'm already loving it. This was a book of the month pick, and it has really good reviews. And the cover is adorable. I'm absolutely obsessed with this. This is the kind of cover that I wish my book had because it is perfection. I immediately stumbled upon this in the bookstore. It wasn't even at the front. I went like hunting in the fiction section, and the fact that this is a fiction book and not purely romance, I have like, I don't know why, but a very good feeling about this. I think that I don't think it's gonna top no matter what. And I'm disappointed that The Night We Met was not like purely springtime kind of stuff, but like they got points because I feel like half of it was kind of like summery and springy, but then we end more in the winter, so we just got introduced to the romantic interest. His name is Connor. I mean, what can I say? They've got good banter. The pacing is already so fast, and I love that because it's already immediately hooked me, and every single time I think about doing something, I'm like, you know what? I have free time. I want to pick up a book, which is so much better than picking up a phone. So I didn't read the back of the book except for when I was reading it with you guys, and I forgot to mention that Annie is Canadian, which was a fun surprise because going into the book I did not expect that. And something about this, and I think it's only clicking now because I'm saying it to you guys, it feels like The Proposal, because Sandra's character, why can't I remember her name? I've watched this movie like a million different times. It's gonna bother me when I'm editing this and I watch The Proposal later today and I don't realize what her name is. So anyways, it literally feels like a Proposal remake, and I love it. Okay, so genuinely, this book had no business keeping me up till 4 a.m. because I couldn't put it down. It's 2 days worth of reading. And I don't even, now I'm like, is it fully 2 days or is this the second day? Now I can't even remember the timeline on this. All I know is this book. Chef's Kiss, perfection. I have never laughed so loudly at a book in my life. Like every single page throws me in a different way. The banter is so good. The inner dialogue is hilarious. Annie is so funny. The writing is delicious. I've wanted to use that word to describe a book for so long, and I feel like this is the book to use it on. I have 30 pages left of this book, and the last thing I want to happen is for it to end. If I could extend this book and make it twice as long, I literally would, because I do not want to leave this book. Like, it is that good. I feel like you guys already get the vibes. Like, these are the vibes we're going for. I don't know why it's so dark all of a sudden, but these are the vibes we're going for. Like, give me more Daisy Jones and the Six.
Hey, Jim Blue, nice to see you. You know I need you. We went to a complex to get new kicks.
Okay, I have just enough time to review Annie Knows Everything before I go off to writing, so we're gonna have to speed run this review, even though this is the best book of the video. I have to say, this book was the most pleasant surprise because I had no expectations, and I know I said this, but like kind of no expectations of what I was going to get out of this book. I was really hoping for a good time, but I had no idea what greatness lied inside this book. I'm not even kidding when I say this is probably one of the best books with the best banter that I've ever read, and every single time I turned the page, like I couldn't put it down. Connor may or may not be one of my favorite romantic interests that I've read. I think he is so authentic in the way that he feels like a real person, and he feels like a person that I could meet in real life, which is probably my delusion talking, but that's okay. Like, they're back and forth in their slow build of a relationship, but it's also a very authentic slow build because it feels like this natural progression of a relationship where they meet each other at the office, and then they kind of become friends, and very slowly she's like, okay, maybe I do have feelings for him. Guys, I'm actually so nervous now to read a book after this, and last night it's No Matter What's over there because I need to pick it up because we actually haven't finished it. So I know I said this was the last book of the video, but you're not getting rid of me yet because we still have to finish No Matter What. And I think with this book, what really just hit home with me was the fact that there is just such a fast pace and it's always moving, and it felt so real because she had a good balance of friendships and work relationships, and then she has this crush and she has her sister, and she has a really weird relationship with her sister because there's this really funny part, and even like her own problems. Like, this is technically a women's fiction book. It was not in the romance section, so if you go searching for this, women's fiction, so she has a problem that she has to solve, and that is her thing with her sister's relationship and her sister's marriage to this guy that she really hates. And I'm not gonna spoil it, but that's really juicy stuff, and it's just so good. Like, it's so balanced, and the dialogue is good, and the internal dialogue is good, and I can feel my bun is falling apart, but that's okay because I need to take it out anyway. Like, everything about this book is so well written, and I am so jealous that this is a debut novel. Like, she should not be this good. This is her first book. This is her first published book. Are you kidding me? Like, I'm Rachel Wood. Miss Ma'am, you are a queen. I literally cannot wait for your next book to come out. This is an instant buy author already for me. I could talk about this book forever. It's 5 stars, it's 6 stars. I wish I could reread it again right now. There is a possibility that I might just do this. Here's where I get into the weird like part of my review. This book felt like the most spring to me, and I don't know if it's because I'm picturing New York at like this perfect like springtime weather, especially with the cover being like this. Like, I'm picturing them going to work and it being like warm outside. She's going thrifting. She's reading a book on the sidewalk as she's waiting for cookies. Like, that just tells you there is no mention, at least not that I remember, no mention of cold weather at all. Does the weather and the setting really play a big part in the book? No, but I think it plays a big part in the vibes. The craziest thing, I'm gonna give it a 5 flower rating because it feels the most spring to me. And this is insane to me because it's a workplace romance. Like, they're probably outside the least out of all of the books that I've read, but this book, like I said yesterday, was my wild card, and I think we played it well. This wasn't even in my head. I didn't know this book existed at the beginning of the video, and what can I say? She is crowned the winner already. I love No Matter What, and to be honest, even without giving you a rating right now, I think both of these are must-reads, and both of them are gonna get like a tied top spot. But if y'all are gonna read one book, and I will always, always, always recommend a Cara Bastone book, but Rachel Wood, this is a debut novel, and I think every single person has to read this book. If you like romance, if you like women's fiction, if you just like a good time, this is the book for you. Now I have to run to writing. I have to take this bun out. This bobby pin can finally get out from my head. It's been poking me all day. I've gotta go. Then we'll finish No Matter What, and we'll finish this video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. I finished No Matter What. Cara just, like, every single time she makes these stories that are just so beautiful, and I forget that they're like fake, if that makes sense. Like, the characters just feel so real and the stories feel so real. And going into No Matter What, I was a little bit scared because they're a married couple. Like, Vin and Roz they've got a very tricky relationship at the very start, and they use the miscommunication trope. And usually I get a lot of people saying that they hate it and they hate miscommunication tropes, but I also feel like if you do it correctly and it makes sense for the story, superb. I think it's a trope that gets used a lot, but I also think it's not a trope for me that feels overused, because there are just some things that I think it's so fun, like seeing things that could be real. Like for this book, Vin and Roz could be a couple in New York. Like in my mind, they could exist. Like this whole story could exist because these things feel real to me. I don't know if that makes sense. Hopefully it makes sense. Cara's writing is just so good, and I feel like immediately for the book, I told you guys this, I was hooked. Like, I was hooked from the beginning. She has a very certain style, and each character feels very unique and very distinct from each other, and her voice is just, It's so powerful, and I feel like you can feel the character's energy coming off the page. Like, I feel like they're talking to me. When Roz is angry, when Roz is annoyed, I feel like I'm having a gossip session with a friend. The emotional trauma that she brings into this, the story from the past that she also kind of winds in, and this book just felt very meticulous and beautiful and everything like that I would want in a book. And I've seen some very kind of different like opinions on what they like about the book and what they don't, but for me, this is a 5-star book. Like, I was telling my mom, and I always say this when I'm like reading a book, I'm like, Mom, you gotta read this. This is a book that I feel like, don't audiobook it, because I know some people are audiobookers, but don't audiobook it. Like, you need to sit down with this book and just really let it seep in, because if you let it, it's gonna be like a 5-star for you. It might be one of your favorite books. I'm going to give No Matter What a 4.75 because when I was reading the book, there were lots of springy days and springy images in my head when I was reading. That is such a weird word to say multiple times. But now that I'm looking at the cover, I feel like I'm seeing more spring images than I did when I was actually reading. But I feel like because while I was reading, I wasn't seeing those images, that doesn't feel like the authentic experience. But when I was reading Annie Knows Everything, in my head it was the perfect weather where the flowers are blooming and you go outside and my seasonal depression is just like literally melting off. I'm thankful that I can go outside and not shiver. So I think, with that being said, I think Annie Knows Everything deserves a 5 out of 5 springtime ranking, and that makes her the winner. And I would have never seen this coming. I don't think you guys saw this coming, because when we first started the video, we didn't even have The Night We Met. I didn't even know this book existed. We went to the bookstore and I picked it up randomly, and unfortunately we had a big flop, which was The Royal Spin. And of course we started with Just Friends, which was a very strong start for this video, and I feel like the perfect spring book. I will definitely be rereading this later in the summer, because to me this is going to be like the perfect July book. Then we had the addition of The Night We Met, and I'm very happy we added this to the book video. Unfortunately, it was not as springy as I thought it was going to be, but it was just as good. And finally, we have the winner of them all, which is Annie Knows Everything. I cannot wait for Rachel's next book to come out, because this one is gonna like be on the top of the pyramid for who knows how long. The best way I can describe how finding this book felt was like when your friends surprise you with a birthday party. That's the only way I can think to describe this book. Well guys, unfortunately this means this is the end of the video. I had so much fun reading all of these books. I mean, so many of these books are 5 stars. So many of these books are going to get recommended to all of my friends and everybody that I know. So I absolutely had a blast. Thank you guys so much for watching. Keep slaying. I love you so much, and bye-bye.